The Spotlight on Frazee is brought to you by the Frazee Forum, your locally owned and operated newspaper serving Frazee and Vergas. Frazee Family Foods, your full-service grocery store offering fast, friendly, no-hassle service.
Welcome to Spotlight on Frazee. I'm your host, Hank Ludke, and we have something special for you today here. We have our own local, Alyssa Mayfield, Miss Teen, Minnesota.
Yes. Hello, I'm from Frazee, Minnesota. I'm 17 years old, and my parents are Dennis and Carrie Mayfield.
And we have Miss Teen USA, Taylor Fitch.
I'm Miss America's Outstanding Teen, Taylor Fitch. I'm from Anderson, South Carolina, a long ways from here, but I'm really excited to be here in Frazee, Minnesota.
Now, Taylor, how did you end up coming up to Frazee, Minnesota during the wintertime?
I guess luck. This is actually the first time I've ever seen this much snow. This has been a lot of fun. Dr. Glenn Harmon actually sponsored me to come up here, be able to be a part of some of the local pageants, and also get to see Alyssa once again. And it's been a great opportunity. Alyssa showed me some of the stuff you get to do here in Minnesota that we don't get to do at home. We drove on a lake, we went ice fishing, and a lot of things like that. So it was a lot of fun.
How long have you been up here?
Since Wednesday. It seems like a week ago now, but since Wednesday. So I'm going home today, back to where it's 70 degrees.
Now, are you doing this with any of the other pageant members?
I'm sorry?
In any of the other states?
I am. I travel all over the United States as Miss America's Outstanding Teen, and I've been everywhere from Texas to New York to North Carolina, so it just kind of depends. But this is my first time in Minnesota, and I've really enjoyed it.
So what do you think?
I like it a lot. It's cold. It's very, very cold, but...
You noticed that?
It's different from my home.
Did they make you go and do the polar plunge this weekend?
No, thank goodness. I think my mom probably would have freaked out.
How come you missed that?
Actually, I don't think it's till next weekend.
Oh, are they just practicing?
But we took her ice fishing. We took her ice fishing, and the hole was big enough. We asked her to jump in, but she said no. I don't know why.
We went snowmobiling, though.
Yes.
You did?
I drove a snowmobile for the first time.
What did you think of that?
It was a lot of fun. Alyssa drove first, and she's a good driver, and then I think I scared her a little bit as I drove. I had no idea what I was doing. But
what part of the trails did you take her on?
We took her back in the woods and on the lake, which was kind of fun because it was still kind of icy, so it was a good time. Weimer Lake.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So you didn't get too far out in the country?
No, not too far.
No. I thought maybe you took her up to Bad Medicine or Clearwater County or up to no, or something.
No, and we got to see people do cross-country skiing as well, so that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Now, where is your next stop from here after you go home? What other state do you hit next?
I think I'm going to be going to Indiana soon. Miss America was recently just crowned, and she's from Indiana, so we have her homecoming there. I'm very excited. First time in Indiana as well, so hopefully beginning of March, that's where I'll be. But first, I have to go to school for a little while.
Oh, they make you go to school?
Unfortunately, I still have to go to school. No, it's a great opportunity. So I'm a student during the week, and then I get to wear the crown on the weekends, so it works out well.
Okay. So now after this interview here, it's going to be to the plane, huh?
Yes, yeah, we're going to bring her up to Fargo on the icy roads, so head her off home again.
And I know your mom's looking forward to driving to Fargo.
Oh, yes. We took the 4Runner instead of the minivan.
Well, that's probably a very good idea today.
Yes.
So. And now, when does your time end as Miss Teen?
It ends this August. I'll have the rest of the summer and the rest of this year, and then this August I will crown a new girl from one of the 52 contestants. So we're hoping for another great girl. So far, I think my predecessors were amazing, and I think we have a great legacy. Every girl from every state has their own legacy that they have left behind, and I know that it'll continue for years to come.
That's good. Now, with that, we're going to stop here for a second, and we're going to pause for station identification and other things. And we'll be right back with the beautiful young ladies here that have out braving the cold and the ice today.
The Spotlight on Frazee is brought to you by the City of Frazee. When booking your special event, they invite you to the Frazee Event Center.
You're watching TV3, a Layton Broadcasting Company.
Welcome back to Spotlight on Frazee, and we're here with Miss Teen USA and also Miss Teen Minnesota, our local Alyssa Mayfield, and Taylor Fitch. And Taylor, how did you get involved in this?
Well, as a kid growing up, I had nothing to do with pageants. I didn't like them. I didn't want to be a part of them. I was a tomboy growing up and just was not my thing. But Miss America and Miss America 2018 is the largest scholarship provider for young women. So I got involved because I wanted to go to medical school. And I knew I couldn't afford it, and so I decided to try my hand at it and maybe come home with a few $1,000s. But now as Miss America 2018, I have $35,000 to go to medical school. So I've been quite successful in my endeavors.
Where do you think you're going to go?
Well, I'm going to a private college first in South Carolina, entitled Wofford College, and from there I'm going to Duke University, hopefully, in the next few years, and graduate as a forensic pathologist.
That sounds very interesting. Lot more than my goals ever were. And Alyssa, now, how are things going with you, and what did you think of this whole competition that you went through?
This year has been amazing, and honestly, just like Taylor, I was a huge tomboy growing up. Never really got into the dresses or the frills or the rhinestones or anything, and honestly, my best friend and I were watching a local, very small pageant, Princess Altona, and we looked at each other and said, we should try this next year. So we tried it next year, and I actually ended up winning the title, which allowed me to compete down at state for Miss Minnesota's Outstanding Teen. And another incentive, like Taylor was talking about, is the scholarship and also the ability to be able to go on stage and have all the opportunities to speak about what you're passionate about. So yes, it's been great and a very fun experience.
And your passion is?
Dancing, yes. I love to dance. I've been dancing since I was 3 years old, and I hope to follow in a career path with dancing and traveling. So we'll see where that takes
happy
us.
Feet.
Yes. Not as good as tapping as they are.
Well, it's very interesting talking to you young ladies, because you're bubbly, you have all this excitement. And you've got a lot of life ahead of you, and you need to keep this going. Because I noticed myself, one of the people I talked to quite a bit yet through one of my organizations, he says, never lose the kid in you. He says, don't lose the kid. It makes life far more dull once you lose the child. So at my age, mentally I'm still a child, but probably not physically. But what other things would you like to say to our audience, Taylor?
I just encourage all young women to get involved with the Miss America organization, and I think Alyssa can attest to this. Neither one of us expected to gain the things that we have from it. Yes, we thought we would get some scholarships and we would be able to be on stage and get a few dresses along the way. Yeah. But beyond that, the interview skills that we now have, as I interviewed for colleges, I was like, wow, this was really easy compared to Miss America. It's like, this is nothing. Things like that, the wisdom you gain and how you can speak to people and relate to people and what you learn to be able to handle and the patience that you gain from this. I mean, those are the most valuable life skills that you can learn. And all of it became from, actually competing in this pageant. Not just winning, but from actually competing and getting to know 51 other young women and get to learn their life stories and learn from each other. So it's worked out extremely well for me.
Well, I'm glad, and we appreciate having you here.
Thank you.
Frazee, on Spotlight on Frazee.
Thank you.
Alyssa, any parting words here?
Yes, just like Taylor was saying, just anyone, even if you don't think that you're the pageant girl, there isn't a pageant type. It doesn't matter if you are a skateboarder or a snowmobiler or anything. It's just an excellent opportunity to get out there. And also, the America system has girls develop a platform, which if you have anything that you're passionate about, developing a platform is a great way to get your voice heard and to get out there. So it's an excellent, excellent scholarship program.
Well, I appreciate it, ladies, and I wish you both luck in your endeavors. And with your background, I don't think you'll need luck. You'll be able to do fine. So with that, we'll catch you next week on Spotlight on Frazee. And Lori Thorpe will be running the program the next 2 weeks. So I'm going to Texas. So I'll see you in 3 weeks. Thank you for watching Spotlight on Frazee.